what you have, obviously you will have good time doing anything. Maybe you can just provide service to other people. Um, Even people when they retire, they want to do something. They want to have some entertainment. But then the spirit of giving to the life, you can do some of it. It's not the 24 hours. Just do a couple of hours a day or a couple of hours in a week, and you will find that's very, very fulfilling for you. Okay, so think about that what I said. So it's all a question of really orienting ourselves towards what we want to do in the life. These workshops are going to be really going deep into your self-care, your comprehensive self-care, your all pillars of your wellness, what you eat, how you exercise, how you sleep, how you keep your minds calm. So anybody has any special question or something that you got a good part, you can come up and tell me about it, and then I'll be happy to register that, or I'll happy to understand it. And if you have a question, if you have a doubt, if you have anything, you can come here now. I'll be here for a few more minutes, at least another 15 minutes. I'll be here by noon. Here is 11:22. By noon, I'll have meeting. So maybe 10 minutes before that, I'll get off here. Okay. So we have good half an hour there. Okay. Recall what we did on the workshop. We had 4 sessions, but supposed to be 3 hours each, but I just did 1 or 2 hours each session. And we introduced what is proactive wellness, how you want to be proactive about your measures of wellness on a daily basis, on a continuous basis, more like an intelligent person, not an obsessive person or anything like that. But just be aware of what's going on, what are your unconscious habits, how you can correct them, things like that. Okay. So what we did was we introduced the assessment form for the registration people who registered. I sent that, and that had all the data, medical data you can fill out for yourself. But I also explained some things that you may not be familiar with, the BMI. A lot of people with the weight concern, they are aware of it, but other people may not, right? So what are the numbers? So how they I kind of gave full explanation of that. You can go back to the replays and read that about that. And also, what is the total fat content of your body and the thickness of the skin. These are also evaluated for your overall wellness and all that, right? And also past histories, medications, and all those things. And also, I put in some wellness measures about your energy, about sleep quality, about your calm mind, all those things. They are there too. So you can fill it out and you can find out, am I really healthy and well in the true sense of holistic health of body, mind, heart, and also the spirit, and also the society? How am I with my society relations? How I relate to everything else? All those things are important too. So we kind of gave that assessment form, and we also gave a workbook where you can develop your own compass and radar for your wellness journey, and you can also have a plan for 30 days in there. Then I went about in detail about certain diets. We did ADA diet, Mediterranean diet, and also Ayurvedic diet, right? And there's so much you can talk about diet, but at least I have initiated. As I said, it's going to be ongoing workshop every month, so people can build on that. I don't expect people to get everything in one sitting, so you may have to take interest according to your needs, and also come and participate and ask questions or send me questions. That way, you can have an ongoing relationship with me, just like a friend, just like somebody who wants you to be well. I want to play that elderly statesman role in healthcare, in proposing people to how to live well, help them to understand that. That makes me very happy when I do that, and somebody takes those and then they follow that and they say that Rao, this helped me. That's my reward. So even if you don't call me or appreciate me, that's fine. But if you understand and then implement them, that's fine. That is the one that we are looking for. And then we also did talk about what are the obstacles for people not able to do this proactively wellness measures in their life. I told you about economy, about the political situation, about our own inner obstacles. I exposed all. God, listen to that. That also you will like it probably. And we talked extensively on functional fitness and exercise as a whole. And we also talked about sleep quality, how you can improve sleep quality. We talked about dead man's pose, we talked about yoga nidra, and how you can incorporate all that. What is the preparation before and after the sleep? Those things we talked about. And then we talked about in the information age, with information overload and brain fog and overwhelm, people are thinking a lot. That's a big problem. You don't have to think a lot, but be aware all the time. That awareness is thoughtless state. Okay? And then use thought only as needed and learn to how to shut it off, let it go. Okay, that's what I do. That's why I don't get exhausted by meetings and all that. Okay, after I'm done with you here, as I go to the next one, this is completely gone. Give it up. So unless there is something important I have to remember, I don't have to hang on to whatever we talked in this hour. That's the way you don't want to use your mind like a garbage bin, putting everything, gossip, unnecessary news, everybody's menu, and all that. Why do you have to keep them in your mind? Let them go. Okay, so that kind of thing. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So this is an endeavor. This is a movement I want to create. I would welcome other people to start the movement of being proactive every day, every pillar of your wellness. You want to be really doing something with awareness. This is about one thing about conscious living. How conscious you are in your lifestyles. How much do you understand your cravings, your aspirations about everything? So how do you keep your body and mind? All those things are you have to think about them. You have to reflect on them, and then you use the knowledge that human beings have. Either is the scientific knowledge, or it could be wisdom that is came to us from centuries, thousands of years. So I go all the way to the ancients because they had shown us a very good ways of living on a daily basis. Okay, so that is the essence of it. I hope you understood my intention. I hope you have got the real just behind it, because I also explained to you how healthcare has become very expensive and not really available to everybody. You may not get what you want because the insurance companies have become very rational, and unless you have money, you may not be able to do certain things for yourself. Okay, so that's the fact of life. So why don't you be smart about not getting ill at all? This effort is about conscious living that leads to wellness for a long time, and not only wellness for a long time, but you are living well and joyfully for a long time. That's that is the what I was fascinated with the yogic lifestyle. How did they do an average of 125 years? That was the span of life for many of the yogis who have followed the uh, good life principles of eating uh, vegetarian food, drinking water quite a bit, walking quite a lot, and taking deep breaths and keeping the mind quiet at least twice a day. So they are not in this habit of constant thinking. They are not in the habit of allowing the thinking to take over them and come because they knew how to clean up the mind. Do you do that? Do you ever try to say, well, let me close my eyes and see what thoughts are coming? And do I have to have this cyclical thought? worries, anxieties, and all that. They come again and again and go and run. Why are they coming like that? Am I creating pathways for it, and that's why they are coming on their own? Or am I aware of it? The moment you are aware of it, it drops. See? So, how to use mind and thought and emotion, which are powerful human things, right? By being in awareness, by really understanding what they are, how powerful they are. But if you don't spend time about having an insight into how the thought and emotion work, you are the victim of unconscious thoughts coming. Remember, I said you are the sky of awareness in which clouds of thoughts like clouds, they happen and they have made cause turmoil, but they all pass. But you remain as the sky, the awareness. So once you understand that, the whole thrust of ancient times were to realize that stillness within, to really understand our own inner, uh, what they call more like a chitta vritti nirodha. That means modulations of the mind are completely still, and then finding out our true self and staying in there. Then you would be reactive. You will be responding to life's challenges, okay, with resilience. Okay. Uh, Anybody has any question, you can come up now and ask me. I'll be happy to talk to you guys. I hope somebody attended the weekend at least sometime. Some of them maybe not staying all through the weekend, but the people who registered and paid money, I think they are supposed to follow up with me in 2 or 3 weeks. But this is too much material, too many things probably. Unless you are really invested in your health and wellness, and you really understand how the current system doesn't give us that kind of thing, you will not be able to really uh, come in and ask me questions. So you got to be invested in your wellness for the long haul, not only for you, but your children, your old folks, and also your friends and relatives. So it's a kind of a collective responsibility that we all have, I think. I have more responsibility because I'm a physician and I'm in the business of healing people, and I could contribute. And I don't see like in the clinic every day regular pay, but I do consult. A lot of people come for consultations, and that's why I do those consultations. I train people in yoga and I train people in stress reduction, burnout. That's the main thing anyway. Burnout of the physicians, that's the main business. So there's a 12-week program that I do. So I actually meet them twice a week online and spend a couple of hours with them. But I start them on where they are, what kind of understanding they have about wellness, what kind of things they have gone through. That assessment is done, and then I know where they are. Are they eating properly? Are they moving properly? Are they sleeping properly? Are they practicing silence of the mind quite regularly? So different people come with different stages, right? So you cannot really compare or judge them, but take them where they are and then show them what is possible, what they could do, to what they can achieve with all this, right? That kind of thing. So that is a commitment that each one has to make and understand how they can do. So this makes you an intelligent patient, a very well informed consumer of healthcare out there, and you could recruit your doctor to be your beneficiary, and so you could recruit AI, artificial intelligence, to educate yourself, and you can also learn the how do you navigate the healthcare system, what is the best way not to be a victim, what's the best way to be a well-informed consumer. All those things I focus. So I did that when I was practicing. So it's a continuous awareness of where the healthcare system is going, what is happening with the money coming into the healthcare system, all that, See, I come from the ancient wisdom perspective where they did not take any money to heal somebody, right? So they were taken care of by the people, or they were taken care of by the kings. So they didn't have to earn livelihood by treating people. They didn't. They just went into the forest, got all the leaves and bird or whatever things that they could use as what they call aushadha. Aushadha means medicines, So people who are ill, they will be given medicine. People who are not ill but well, they are maintained on the wellness, by teaching them lifestyles, So these vaidyas, they call doctors, they were genuinely interested in wellness of the people, and they thought that is why divine duty. So they gave themselves and everything, not this modern way of just making a living, and that's why I'm going to make money on this patient. That's not the way it was. Okay, so I kind of thought that was great on the part of the physicians that they were able to do. So I try to do as much as possible everything free, whatever I do. That kind of satisfaction comes because if you are retired, if you are 70, so obviously I will have that, right? But ancients, even when they were young, the moment they took the role of a doctor, Vaidya, they were giving everything free out of their heart. That's why wellness was very much appreciated, and people also took to those measures very easily. Okay, but modern, they infuse this money into patient care where they should not have been. Obviously, there is some charges for the hospitals, for the, you know, the day-to-day bills and all. That's okay. But I'm talking about uh, personal greed has taken into the medical care, and that's why a lot of people are suffering because they don't get care unless they have money, right? So that is going to be much more because they have taken so many funds away from the Medicaid. So a lot of people who need medical care because they're poor and they're not able to really work very well, and those people are really going to suffer because the government is taking away almost $1 trillion from these people who have been needing help in so many ways and gave it to the rich people in the form of tax breaks, right? That is what happened with that bill. And so we are anticipating a lot of problems in the healthcare delivery services to people, okay, who need them, right? So I'm not political, but I'm just stating you what is the consequence of this kind of bills, and then people who are going to, suffer are the ones who elected this kind of government, But these things come and go. But my thing is, we can be empowered by ourselves. We can know what is what. We can understand what is a wellness measure and what is going to lead to illness. That's what I'm propagating. That's why I said this is a movement. To be proactively well is a movement. I want to start with myself, one person, and each person can start for themselves. Do you want to have good, well, long life that is full of joy and happiness and strength and vigor? Or do you want to, succumb to pressures of the illness that can happen if you are unaware? And suppose you are eating at a hotel and the hotel doesn't care about your wellness, but they care about their revenue. They want you to come back. So they want to put more salt, more oily, make it more tasty, and they are looking for the revenue, not for your wellness. But be aware of it. Then when you go there, you ask the chef and tell them, I want my food to be my medicine, and I want my awareness to be my chef, so that I can choose what I want. So please, I have these conditions. So I don't want to eat too much salt, or maybe don't fry them, make them with steam, something like that. So you can always talk to your chef and order what is appropriate for you, what is good for you, right? So you can do that. That is a proactively being conscious about the wellness measure and implementing that in your daily life. Okay. Suppose you have to sleep every day, otherwise you don't feel very well in the morning. Then go to sleep early and get up early. Suppose you see you have stiffness or some kind of tension in your body, just stretch and deep breathe into it. Okay, suppose you find yourself reacting to every small thing with fear and anxiety in your mind, then take deep breaths and cultivate the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, vagus nerve. Otherwise, you'll be stimulating the sympathetic nervous system. That sympathetic tone results in a lot of heart problems and all that, mind problems too. So things like that. Be aware, be enlightened about these healthcare measures, wellness measures, and really come from that kind of enlightened attitude about things, about information about knowledge about that. It's very easy these days. Okay, so especially with the artificial intelligence coming in, you have a real good chance of um, really finding out a lot of things about yourself, about healthcare system, about the positive things that you could do for yourself, and be aware of them. And you can research much better. Okay, and then you can take that research to your provider and talk to them. Form a relationship where they are going to work for your wellness, not just to fix you and send you out. See, my thing is the whole illness goes into three phases. It will start with some whispering from inside. This is not good. This is achy. This is painful, like that, right? Or I'm restless. I'm reacting to this. I feel fear quite easily. I'm anxious easily. Or I get negative and get depressed. All those are whispers. I want to get people to act when they are whispers. But what they do, they allow them to become into symptoms, and from symptoms establish illness. That's why there's so much chronic disease in this country. Nobody does anything from the beginning, right? But if you, anywhere in the world, if you are acting at the beginning, at the whisper state, then you can fix these problems much better, not allowing them to be chronic disease things. Okay. So I kind of ran the summary of what happened with the workshop, and I invite you to participate in the next month, fourth weekend. Remember, that's fixed for at least for the next 6 months. So that I want to start this movement of proactive wellness with everybody. One thing or other, not if not all the 12, 25 things that I will be telling you, maybe couple of things, small changes, but permanent changes. Just try to educate yourself, empower yourself, and you have to really make that happen in your life. Okay, so and look forward to this uh, resilience in times of turmoil is the retreat, because people call me. They have somebody the other day. Somebody called me because his wife passed away of several decades. So obviously the turmoil, how to handle this, how to go forward in my life, and all that. The ancients talked a lot about what is death, how you perceive death, and what do you do after somebody dies, and all that. So I brought in all that wisdom that I was exposed to, and that gave him a lot of clarity, understanding, and also relief from the suffering that he was going through. So many people don't pay attention to the existential issues like why are we here, what are we, where are we going, what is death, what happens after death, how do you live this life fully, those kind of things. Once you That is what the ancient did. What they did was they kept their outward life very simple, but the inward life very, very rich. So those people really found some answers that are worth investigating. Don't have to follow them, but take that ideas and then say, suppose they say death is a transition. What is the transition? Transition from where to where? That kind of investigation you want to do within your own mind. Not reading people, not listening to people, but allowing these questions simmer in your mind, in your inner intellect, and then you can refer to people who what they're saying, but then reflect on them. Reflect on them, investigate, doubt them, question them, and then you will be having your own enlightened answer to yourself, right? And then you bring that to the life. Okay, so I hope people will join me in starting this movement for their own sake, not for me or for anybody, for their own wellness, for their own well-being, for their own energy, for their own lack of suffering. You won't suffer when you really understand what something is. You won't be fearful, you won't be anxious, right? You will be acting consciously. This is all about conscious living. Conscious living, conscious. You are conscious in everything that you do. You are aware what is going on. A thought comes into your mind, you kind of observe it. Don't yield to it. Okay. So after the this weekend, this what is coming up is about how prepared are you to really respond if a turmoil should arise in you. Do you do anything about it, or you just say and then let the turmoil come and like a cyclone take you away in the turmoil? People are really hurt. People are really suffer like that. But human beings are having embodied with an intelligence that can really help you to understand the cyclones, the turmoils in life. It could be physical, it could be psychological, it could be emotional, relationship, or business. There are so many turmoils happen, right? So you are, if you are grown up, you are mature, and you have an attitude where you can observe things and then also act on them. Like you have a strength, right? So suppose you have to lift some big weight, you don't go and lift it all of a sudden. You train yourself. That's the way you can train for life. You can understand things through life. Not don't say, "Oh, I'm going to grow with everybody." That is the uh, thing that you may have some support, you may feel good, but actual thing is, suppose you are hit with a turmoil, you need to have your own inner strength to lift that weight of the turmoil, to wave through that with clarity of mind. That's what I'm going to do on the 12th evening and 13th and 14th, four sessions like we did last time. So in this, you can bring your own turmoils that you went through. You can see how you handle them, and we can discuss about what is the resilience you could have developed that would have done that turmoil much easier. You are the sky of awareness. In that, these turmoils are happening, cyclones are happening. But the sky doesn't change because turmoil comes and goes away. So be that eternal, unchanging self and allow the thinking to happen, allow the thinking to happen in a proper way. And if there is a turmoil of the thinking, observe it. Develop that capacity to observe without getting indulged. But what happens is the moment we have our fear gets activated, our anxiety, our worry, and all that, and then they take over. The hormones are secreted and they take over. So, can you do that, or is that the only way to live, or is there a way to be resilient inside, not being careless, not being lack of sensitivity? No, on the other hand, you bring the best of the humanity, best of the human being, to come in operation, to come to your aid in those turmoils. That's what I want to show you in that. So you can actually personally learn a lot if you apply yourself. Okay. But if you say, oh, this is a concept, I'm going to look at it, you will forget the concept. Because you go to somebody else and they get another concept. No, what are you doing with it? What is the manana, they call it in Sanskrit? What is the reflection of these issues? Do you ever consider, or do you only worried about how best I can live this life, how much enjoyment I can have? This is like a self-centered view. From that, you break through, and then you understand the human condition. You understand what's going on in the world, and you can understand all their experiences is also your experience, and then you will reach out and touch them with kindness, lovingness, and compassion. With that, if anybody wants to come up and say anything, you are welcome to come. Otherwise, as I said, noon I have meeting. I'll be going there. Okay. We have 9 more minutes if you want to come up. Remember, September 12th, 13th, and 14th, we'll be doing this resilience in times of turmoil as a retreat. That means you are going to take a step back from whatever you're doing and look at these things, and then you're coming there with the intention of getting more enlightened on this topic and make it an armamentarium of you as you go and live your own life. And the fourth weekend again, we'll be doing the workshop of proactive wellness. How do I really employ these wellness measures in a proactive way? That's the essence of it, so that you are empowered to handle your illness, your healthcare system, and your own life. Okay. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be seeing you again. I will go and attend my meeting now. Thank you.